What is going on, kids and squids? Today is the most special day to any motorcyclist. It is new bike day. Although really it's more of a new to me bike day because this is a well used, well loved 2021 Suzuki SV650. The 4th gen of a bike that's been made since what, 99 or something like that? Almost as long as the DR650, but Suzuki's done a much better job of updating this bike. Although it is anything but cutting edge. And this is my first real ride on this bike. Now I did take it for a spin last night. I did a little short test ride, and I'm hating these mirrors. I can't see diddly out of them. Oh my God, this guy's tasting mirrors. They look awesome, but they don't work worth a darn. But yeah, this is my first real spin on this bike of any significance. So we're going to find out together what I really think about it. Now he does have good taste in exhaust. This thing sounds magnificent. Yeah, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but that sounds pretty epic. Yeah, that'll make you want to ride right there. If that sound doesn't get your adrenaline going, I just gotta wonder if you're really alive. Such wonderful mid-range torque, and we're going way, way, way too fast. Oh man. So, I wasn't planning on buying a motorcycle. I guess I need to start there. It just sort of found me. I've been really disappointed in what I've been seeing out of the Suzuki ZX4RR. Well, that was a terrible term, but these tires are shot, I feel like. Yeah, anyway, what I was saying was I've been really disappointed with the ZX4RR and all of the reliability issues those bikes have been having. And I figured I needed to get something that I knew I could rely on, and something that would be very forgiving to ride. The ZX4RR is the latter, but it is definitely not the most reliable thing from what I've seen. And there was a engine failure on the ZX4R failure group on Facebook, and this guy was just cruising on the interstate and he lost his engine, and Cowie turned him down. And when I saw that, I was like, I'm done. I've got to start looking somewhere else. And I've always been curious about these bikes. My main curiosity has been, is it really just a wannabe monster, or after making these for like 25 years, has this bike sort of become its own thing? And I'm happy to report, so far, maybe it is a wannabe monster, but it runs really nice. And that M4 exhaust sounds absolutely magnifico. Truly, truly great sounding bike. Yeah, this bike is well loved. This got like 14K on the clock, but I got it out the door for $5,000. Probably not the most smoking deal, considering it's got some stuff done I'm going to undo. But the exhaust was serviceable. The bike was in pretty good condition cosmetically. There's a little boo-boo under the seat pan back here. Nothing that's going to hurt my feelings for $5,000. And I'm going to need to do the service on it pretty soon for the valves. And it needs a back tire. which I didn't realize till this morning, but oh well. No big deal. The chance to upgrade the rubber, which I'm sure will help the bike out. Not that it seems to need any help at the moment. But I used to have a Monster 796 back in 2015 or 16 or so. I can't remember the exact year, but it was a 2014 model, I believe. And that bike sounded awesome. It sounded a little nicer than this. Mainly because the Ducati just has a little extra lumpiness to it. And this bike doesn't seem to have that lumpiness. But the engine on this below 3,500 or so is so much smoother. I mean, right here, the Ducati would be really frustrated with me. It would start to shake like fairly violently. Let's let this get on down to 3. So yeah, right here at 3 grand, we can cruise if we need to. And you've got enough torque to pull yourself forward without having to downshift. That's super duper nice. Oh, yeah. But that back tire right now is kind of dangerous. The other thing I'm noticing compared to my old 796 I used to have is that bike was a very, very nervous bike. It felt like it just wanted to fall over. This bike does not feel like that at all. This thing is very, very easy to ride. Wow. So much confidence that has been inspired right away. Transmission is awesome. Yeah, that's nice. Pulls strong. I heard somebody say these were wheezy bikes, like they were a little wheezy up top. I'm not noticing that. Seems fine to me. The brakes in this thing are a little suspect though, compared to what I'm used to anyway. Mirrors aren't too bad when you get used to them. They're not great. They're gonna go. I'm gonna go back to the factory mirrors for now. Yeah, I don't mind the lollipop thing, although it does look super cool. Maybe I'll just get some Rizomas or something. It's just that these levers need to be shorter and these need to come off the bike further. So I guess if I oriented them like that, yeah, that would be better. That's not so bad. Maybe I can keep these. Let me put these out here where I can actually use them. Yeah, not the greatest mirrors. They'll work. But these levers are too long. You can see where his levers were hitting the bottom of the mirror mount over here. So we're gonna swap these out right away. Also, I wasn't sure about this windscreen that he had. Let alone the skull decal, but I'm not noticing any real buffeting. At 70 miles an hour, it seems to be fine. And I'm not getting a lot of turbulence under my helmet. I thought it would like push the air up and like hit me underneath the helmet, but it seems really nice. Yeah, it's pretty clean. I'm super impressed by that. Most of the time, I do not get along with any kind of a short windscreen on the front of a bike. It's just more buffeting than the benefit is worth, in my opinion. But this one seems okay. I don't know what kind it is. Doesn't have any name brand stuck on it. Probably something from Alibaba, but if that's the case, cheers to whoever who designed this in China. Instrumentation. I have noticed that this is a little hard to see when you're in the shadow. You can see it really good when the sun's on it, as you would expect, but with the shadow of yourself on there, not the easiest thing to see. But you've got a gas gauge, awesome. BMW doesn't even have a gas gauge, so I really love that I can see the temp and the gas, the tom, all the essential stuff. As you would expect, there's no cruise control on this bike. Horn works. Blinkers work. I checked them earlier. What's up, heifers? The throttle is so smooth. You know, that's been a common complaint for me on most every new motorcycle, is that the throttles are just garbage. They feel very disconnected, or they feel jumpy. This thing is not jumpy at all. I mean, there's a little chain lash or something right there, but it's not bad. Maybe it is closing it all the way down. I do plan on sending the ECU off. The fuzz. What's up, Fuzzy? They have gotten really bad out here. There's been a couple of deaths on this road, on motorcycles in particular. They've gotten really, really, really bad. Let them know. This is a great corner, but it can be very slick. We're going to take it easy through here today. Especially with the pavement being cold, I don't want to come through here too fast. Try to be nice to the locals. This is their road. This is their home. This is such a nice little piece, though, of road. But the turn in is nice. It kind of sets in, and then the turning slows down a bit. It's not going to let you just fall into it the way you would think. I heard somebody describe this today when I was watching a YouTube video. They described the SV as being a Labrador Retriever, always willing to help. I can see that. Oh, you've got a gear indicator. That's kind of sharp. Not used to seeing those too much. Or too often, rather. Oh, we're getting low on gas. We need to head back to the gas station, damn it. Well, we will stop up here. Hopefully we don't run out. That would be bad. We'll stop at the fire station if we can. Do a little walk around and head back to get some gas. All right, gonna do a little walk around here, see how she looks. Not the biggest fan of the skull, but I get it. I used to be into that kind of thing. Love the red wheels. No boo-boos. Radiator guard, serviceable. Not the nicest thing I've seen, but it does what it needs to do, which is protect the radiator. Don't see any obvious leaks. Love that red frame. Absolutely love the exhaust. The red wheels, the red frame, man, they really look sharp. We're going to blur the license plate out. Sorry about that. This was the boo-boo I was mentioning earlier. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, it's a bummer. We'll see what we can do about it. Maybe we can get this repainted or wrap it in white. I think it'd look kind of cool if it was white to match the tank. What do y'all think? The pearl white on the tank is gorgeous, though. I didn't even realize it was pearl. When I saw this last night, it was like almost dark. You couldn't really see what was going on too much. Not the best time to inspect the bike and make a deal on it, but hey, what you gonna do? I like the red handles too. If I could find red handles that are shorter, red levers that are shorter than these, that will clear this, that's what I'll do. I'll get something like that. But they look good. They match the bike. Not the biggest fan of this particular chin fairing or belly fairing or whatever you want to call that, but it looks nice. It just looks kind of cheap in the sunlight. But y'all, the engine on this thing is really, really nice. I'm super impressed. Love the round headlight. Do not need Gladius styling. That is not something that we miss, is it? Yeah, tidy looking little bike. He did tell me that he put LEDs underneath here. Huh. You can't see them in the daylight, obviously, but might look kind of cool at night. Red LEDs on a red frame. What do y'all think? I'm super pumped. Like I said, I've always wanted one of these. I was always curious about them after having a Ducati Monster. And it has character. For a bike that runs like this thing runs, it has character. It's not without. Oh, we got company. Well, he's not going to mess with me good. Love my camera case. So let's get back on and nurse this thing back to the gas station and pray that we don't run out. I should have checked. Oh, that would be bad, wouldn't it? So I really was thinking about getting an MT-07 like everybody else out there. And then I thought about the, what is it, the XSR 700, the Neo Retro brethren of the MT-07. But man, if you're going to go retro-y, and I wouldn't call this bike full retro, but this thing is like a tribute to the 90s. It really is. It's like a, it's like Suzuki finally decided that when they were going to make this bike, the fourth iteration of the SV650, they were like, we're going to go full on mid-90s Ducati Monster on the frame. None of that soft Gladius looking garbage. None of that square frame stuff we did in the early aughts. They just went straight back there to the mid-90s, and I love it. So it's kind of cool. And I'm afraid this is going to be the last generation of this bike. And if so, that's cool. I got one. But yeah, it's great. The styling is really, really nice. I love it. The engine, the throttle response, so good. So much better than most of the modern bikes I've ridden and owned. This thing is so delicious on the throttle. It's so gentle. You know, when you're coming out of a corner, that's what you want. You don't want the on-off snatchy throttle thing. At least I don't. For a fuel-injected bike, I would give this thing a 9 out of 10 on the throttle. It's super nice. This exhaust is a full exhaust, and it doesn't sound bad. I don't even have earplugs in right now, and it's not terrible. I'm getting a lot more wind in the helmet than I am exhaust noise. So it's pretty mellow, but it has a lovely, lovely tone. Not quite Ducati in tone, but close enough for me. Vibes are nice. It's got the vibes. I love vibes in a motorcycle, but they're not buzzy. They're just kind of rumbly vibes. Very delicious. Very stable. Ergonomics aren't bad. Pegs are high enough to be useful in the corners. You're leaned forward a little bit in a Street Fighter-ish kind of position, but not super aggressive. Really lovely. I mean, I could do this thing for a while. I'm 5'11". I forgot how long my arms are. They're not pterodactyl arms, but they're not overly long either. Pretty normal. But yeah, this thing is just super chill, and yet good enough posture that you can go into a corner and not feel like you have to move your weight around a lot. Your legs are hitting on the tank in the right place, so if you want to put some grip tape here, you got something to hold on to if you're going to be really aggressive. Super cool. Cop's still there, I take it. This guy's MG. I know I'm just like ADHD, y'all, and I really apologize, but I love this guy's MG. What a hot car. Now I have a BMW R9T Urban GS, and I've been setting that bike up to be a bit more of a, we'll call it mild adventure bike. I'm not trying to turn it into a GS. What's up, brah? But there's a lot of overlap from the factory with that R9T and this bike. But I'm going to take this one and try to keep it more street focused, maybe track it a bit. And we'll set up the R9T for the camping. I forgot to let those guys on the front know about the cop. But yeah, I mean, this hands-free, not nervous. What a lovely thing. All right, I'm not going to tell y'all how lovely it is anymore. I'm pretty smitten. Well, I think I made the right choice, y'all. You've got the 90s looks that I love, the monsterish looks that I grew up with. You've got a chassis that's super confidence-inspiring. I mean, it just makes you feel so good when you ride it. The price is right, you know, 5 G's for a reliable sporting but not sport bike. Naked bike with these kind of looks. Oh, I don't know why you would choose a Yamaha 700 unless you just wanted the more wheelie prone chassis. You've got the sound, you've got the looks. You don't have any cliche gimmicky farkles on this bike. Like, there's no fake frame protectors, nothing trying to make the frame look like a aluminum frame when it's not, nothing hiding anything. Everything's exposed, and visually it's very well balanced. A real round headlight, nothing that looks all melty like a Gladius, nothing too eccentric like a modern Husqvarna, although those headlights look super cool today. I think they're going to look really tired in a couple of years. This thing just has the classic elements of peak roadster motorcycling in a combo, you know, a mechanical and chassis combination that's going to be really reliable. The seat's nice and wide. Yeah, it's nice. And Buying used, no dealer fees. How about that? I'm just so sick to death of dealer fees. I mean, even used bikes today, dealers want to get you on refurbishment fees now. It's insane. The amount of just junk fees that these people shamelessly make up. And I don't know how they sleep at night. I really don't. And most of the time when you talk to them, they're real jerks. I guess because anybody with a conscience couldn't do that. They couldn't screw people the way that a lot of these bike dealers are screwing people on new and used bikes now. I wouldn't even think about buying a used bike from a dealer because sometimes the difference in price between a used bike and a new bike, when you go out the door, there's just not a lot of difference anymore because of the dumb fees they add to it. I'd rather have the new bike just to have the extra warranty and all that. But, you know, $5,000, no dealer fees. How about that? Makes you feel hopeful that you could get into motorcycling in an affordable way. I mean, I think even a kid could maybe scrape together 5 G's after cutting grass all summer or something if they were, you know, really smart about their money. And it's a real shame that Ducati doesn't make these kinds of bikes anymore. You know, the new Monster is awesome and all, but they only make one now, one major chassis anyway. They don't have the multiple displacements anymore. They're using the Scrambler line to dip down into the bottom of the market. They don't have the air-cooled engine anymore. They don't have a trellis chassis anymore. I mean, what makes it a Ducati? It could just as well be a KTM Duke. It's just not as ugly. But it doesn't look like a monster to me. And this thing looks like a 90s monster. I love it. Thank you, Suzuki, for closing us out. If this is the end of the SV650 era, and I think it very well could be, they went out on top, in my opinion, giving people the basics of what makes motorcycling fun. Good throttle, good sound, V-engine. What's up, bro? Affordability. Classic looks. What a fantastic ride. It's like March 2nd right now, or March 1st, I'm not sure, but either way, like, I'm so pumped to have this for the rest of the year, the whole motorcycle riding season. This is going to be a great bike. So that's it, kids. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. And YouTube is going to recommend some videos on the screen right now. It thinks you're going to like one of these, so go ahead, click one of those videos. I'd really appreciate it. Ciao.